Kericho tea plantations are some of the most breathtaking sceneries in the country. This neat and well-maintained tea plantation table belongs to Kevinson Kai Duncan from Kericho County. Duncan has been farming tea for over 20 years on less than an acre. He is among farmers who have received training on best management practices in the use of clean planting clones sourced from the Tea Research Institute, which he claims have been a win-win on both yields and profits.
Majani chai nazaambia wakulima waweke bidii kwa chai, wasione tu wapande large farms, lakini wapande ile kidogo ile wanaweza kumanage. Ile management nzuri ndio inatoa mazao mazuri, sio shamba kubwa. Hata hapa niko na kitu kama 0.9, lakini tunaongea na wale watu wako na eka 4 na kwenda mbele. Sababu last year nilifunga, hata ingawa hatukuwa na mbolea, nilifunga na kile amana 7,190 is an average of 1.98 per bush. Najua kuna kitu sitalala njaa.
We did some monitoring to see what was the impact, and we realized that in terms of production, the increase was around 36% overall now, okay, on average. Because we first of all had a pilot on 4 factories, and then it was later on rolled out to all the factories. So on average, in terms of yield production, it was around 36% increase in production. And then adoption of good agricultural practices. These are the practices that have been shared with us through the Tea Research Foundation, and they are given to the teams. So once we use this vehicle of farmer field schools, it has actually been very, very useful. This technology of farmer field schools has enabled our farmers to have an edge in the market, because issue of certification was actually a requirement in the market. From the year 2015, it was actually required that all teas be sourced from sustainable gardens. So one of that is a requirement that was required now for us to have certification, especially on rainforest aligned certification.
Decreased plucking intervals and pruning are key in maintaining a healthy bush as well as improve yields. When the planter performs pruning, the tea plants receive a fresh lease of life. It facilitates the removal of diseased or damaged, unproductive, unwanted or dead tissues from the plant body. This can be done both mechanically or manually.
At least tutoe meza mzuri, ile jua ikitoka asubuhi na piga kila mahali, inatoka shoots inatoka in the same level. So inatusaidia ikitoka in the same level, inatusaidia tunaharakisha. Kama zile blog ya juu huko ile mrefu, tunaenda 35 minutes tutakuwa tumemweka ile imechaga the plucking basket. Kiwa na meza nzuri unachuna kilo mingi.
According to scientists at the Tea Research Institute, several key attributes are considered when developing new varieties. These include high quality, high yielding, pest and disease resistance, and adaptability to different tea growing zones.
So as a breeder, that is what is guiding us. So we develop these varieties to ensure that we get varieties which are high in terms of productivity. Tea is a perennial crop. It takes a very long period of time. So to develop a new variety, it is interesting, it takes up to 23 years. So this is the long period which require a lot of patience, a lot of resilience from the breeder, and even also from the industry. Generally, tea plant is left to grow for 60 centimeters. But inside here where we do breeding, we leave these plants to grow. It can grow up to 20 to 30 meters when left to grow. So what we do, we collect the seeds, and then from that seeds, we know it is a product of 2 crosses. We have crossed a high yielding and a high quality. So what we are looking for is to get a product from the 2, which is higher in quality and higher in yield. From there is when we move out to the nursery now, and then we continue the process of breeding, which will take up to 23 years until we have a good variety which started from inside here, the seed berry.
The Institute also recommends the use of eco-friendly measures for pest and disease control.
So we normally resort to those control options which are safer to the environment, like good agricultural practice will reduce the population of pests in the field. We only resort to chemicals, and when we resort to chemicals, we go to those which are very safe, the plant extract, the natural chemicals, or we use biological control products to reduce the population. Once we reduce the population, we make sure that we contain those population using environmentally friendly control.
At the Tumoy Cottage Tea Factory that produces premium orthodox teas, black, green, white and purple teas, they know all too well the importance of high-quality leaf required to process tea leaves to cater for a specialty export market.
Of course, we've had to learn, to unlearn and then relearn the tea making process. Yeah, because every cultivar can be product specific, and you need to work with TRI on that 100%. You also have to talk a lot with them on, is this withered? Is that directly steamed? Is that one panned? You know, all those things. And they are the ones you have to go back and forth, you know, trying to develop that kind of technology with them. And they are a real resource because they have the labs, they have everything, and they know how it should look. So if you choose as a farmer to plant just one specific clone and add value to it, then you know you're becoming, you get a niche of your own on that specific tea. TRI have really tried, and they have done a good job. We have very many varieties of tea in Kenya, and people should, farmers should plant all this, then add value.
We are involved in developing technologies actually for processing teas. Black City, which is our #1 leading tea product in Kenya. We also are getting into orthodox tea processing, so we're also developing technologies of orthodox teas. And then right now the current in thing for tea, or the current thing that Kenya is trying to focus on, is the market for specialty teas. So that is the third area of processing technologies that we are producing. The second aspect of the research that we deal in is now processing technologies for value-added food and non-food products based on tea.
Tea, the most widely consumed drink in the world next to water, isn't just considered as a beverage, but it is a gift of nature to mankind to start a refreshing day. But what are its health benefits?
Whether they are taking black tea, whether they are taking green tea, whether they are taking any specialty teas, which include white tea, which includes oolong teas. Oolong teas are semi-fermented teas. They are in between black tea and green tea, so they have been fermented partially, so they are having qualities of both green and black tea. And then there is white tea, and the white tea is processed from the silver tips. So all these teas, when we consume them, we get into our bodies what we call polyphenols. These polyphenols are basically antioxidants, and what they do in our bodies is that they mop out any free radicals. Free radicals are causative agents to diseases.
Black CTC tea, processed through cut, turn and curl to granular form, is what we are mostly used to.
Despite Kenya being the third largest producer of tea leaves in the world, we don't know how to take it. Experts say that to enjoy the full flavor of tea leaves, be it green, black, purple, white or oolong, we shouldn't be adding milk or sugar.